My lords, my ladies, I'm the Night Vtuber Ragnar Avalon. We're doing another quick reaction video today, which I didn't think I was going to do this year, but they put out a trailer for Code Vein 2. Now, I haven't streamed it very much, but if you hang around on my Discord, you'll know that I am a big fan of Code Vein. Pretty much all of the problems that I have with Dark Souls are solved by Code Vein, so I just think it's a really good game. To briefly catch you up, let's play the video and see how it is.
Another world snuffed from existence.
Okay.
Our focus, our true objective, is to save this world, our current world.
Need I remind you that tampering with history is strictly forbidden?
Are we Demon Souls now?
It's time I faced my past. Let's go.
This is already looking a lot cleaner.
Today, you'll pay your dues.
Is that a— whoa, hang on, whoa, that was a boost hammer. Yeah, that's just a boost hammer from God Eater. Okay. That is some meaty hit stop too. I'm starting to think this might not be a sequel. Wait, whoa, hold on, whoa, go back, hold on. So, I see this is for the deluxe editions. DLC next year. Alright, so the deluxe pre-order gets you the DLC and the pre-order, and the rest is just glamour stuff. You do get to start early, which is kind of nice. Lou Magmel, interesting. So we've also got the development message and the gameplay message to look at, so I'm pretty interested in this. I'm going to assume that we're going to need closed captions, because this is going to be in Japanese, presumably. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I should mention, the word that is translated as Revenant is Kyuketsuki, which is normally how you write vampire, but I think it's written with different characters. This does not look like a sequel though, which I'm a bit sad about.
伸びしろといいますか、可能性を感じたことが続編を考え始めるきっかけになりました。ドラマティックなストーリーや魅力的なバディとの交流を武器としつつ、さらにボスとの死闘感を発展させることができれば、もっと多くのプレイヤーに手に取ってもらい満足してもらうことができると考えました。また、ストーリー体験をより発展させるために、コードベイン2では時間というテーマを取り入れました。過去と現在といった時間の広がりや過去に介入するという歴史改変の要素によってドラマティックな体験を強めています。歴史改変は非常にエキサイティングなテーマでありつつ、前作で描いてきたものも否定しかねないという側面もあります。ですので、コードベイン2では前作と共通する要素を持ちながらも、新し しい世界観として構築しました。
That's really disappointing to me because I really like God Eater,
前作コードベイン
but
では
I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea.
独自の解釈で人が変異するものとして表現してきました。今作では歴史の影に常に隠れて存在して悠久の時を生き
I just realized so this is probably no longer going to be in the video, but I spent like 6 minutes at the start of the video giving like a crash course into Code Vein, and that's irrelevant since this isn't a sequel. So I'm just gonna have to cut that whole 6 minutes. Okay.
存在として吸血鬼を描いています。世界滅亡の危機に瀕して彼らは姿を現し人間社会と交わることになります。一方で主人公は人間であり吸血鬼ハンターです。前作に登場したブラッドベイルも人の身でありながら吸血鬼の力を使うための新たな装備ジェイルとして登場します。背中に格納されている吸血鬼の心臓がジェイルと呼ばれる装備で、これによって吸血鬼のさまざまな力を引き出して
Okay, that makes sense.
吸血鬼と吸血鬼ハンターは敵対する存在でありながら世界の滅びに際して共に抗う共存関係にあります。時間を超越した
We can kill each other later.
吸血鬼と限られた時間の中を生きる人間、この両者の間に描かれる特別な関係性が今作のドラマのポイントになっています。
Just realized that I forgot to turn my captions on.
ストーリーにおいてはドラマ性の拡張、アクションにおいてはボスの死闘感を主軸に置き、プレイヤーが主人公としてストーリーやバトルに積極的に関わっていく体験をお届けしたいと考えています。滅びゆく世界の運命に抗うため、時間を超える力を持つ吸血鬼の少女ルーと100年前の過去へ旅立つことになります。100年前の世界にも確かに滅びの足音が近づいており、多くの危険や問題を抱えています。そこで様々な吸血鬼や人々と出会い、絆を深めていくことになるのですが、時に彼らの命運に関わる歴史的な出来事に立ち会うことになります。過去への干渉は禁じられており、あくまで自分たちの生きる現代を救うことが使命なのですが、それでも過去に介入し歴史の改変を試みるかどうかという判断はプレイヤー自身に委ねられることになります。前作ではバディの過去の記憶に触れることで過去にあった出来事や彼らの宿命を知るといった構造がありました。今作は彼らの運命が大きく変わる過去の転換点にプレイヤーとして能動的に関わることができます。これが大きな魅力の一つになっています。ストーリー以外にも歴史改変によってバディやフィールド、世界を取り巻く全ての人々に変化が現れるといった要素もあります。もちろん禁じられた過去改変をすることのリスクもあり、より強大な敵と対峙することになるかもしれません。ボスについては歴史改変というスケールにふさわしい大きな障壁としてデザインしているので、前作以上に歯ごたえのある戦闘になっています。自身の手で壁を乗り越えて歴史を変えていくという体験に手応えと達成感を味わってほしいです。ボスは歴史上の出来事と関連した存在ですので、歴史改変の影響を受けて変化することもあります。実際に対峙した時には驚くこともあるでしょうし、そこにまた一つのドラマ性を感じてもらえると思います。
So like Sonic CD.
吸血鬼ハンターである主人公は任務の途中で命を落としてしまいます。その主人公に自らの心臓を分け与えて蘇生させたのが吸血鬼の少女ルー・マグメルです。彼女は時間を移動する力を持つ特別な吸血鬼です。主人公と共に世界を救うという使命を背負って旅に出ます。もちろん戦闘でもバディとして共闘します。胸元で輝く心臓は主人公に分け与えたことで半分になっています。一つの心臓を分け合ったルーは本作の中でも強い絆で結ばれている特別なキャラクターです。どことなく儚い印象のある彼女ですが、うちには強い思いを抱いており、旅路の中で絆を深めることで彼女の新たな一面を見つけることができると思います。ルーと共に旅をしていく中で様々な吸血鬼たちとの出会いが待っています。水没都市というエリアで出会うことになるのが吸血鬼のジョゼ・アンジュです。彼女は水没都市を統括して生き残った吸血鬼や人々を保護するべく戦っています。バディとして共闘する際には自分の身の丈よりも大きな斬馬刀を振り回したパワフルな戦闘を得意としており、周囲を巻き込む炎によって広範囲の敵を攻撃するといった構成
So she's similar to Yakumo as a partner.
主人公を引っ張ってくれる彼女とも特別な絆で結ばれることになります。過去で結んだ絆が現在の世界でどのような形で紡がれていくのか、それは本編を遊んでいただければと思います。彼女の他にも様々な使命や信念を持って生きる吸血鬼たちが多数登場します。 滅びに瀕した世界で彼らの生き様が描かれるドラマティックなストーリーもぜひ楽しんでいただきたいです。
今作のキャラクターデザインには前作同様小林くるみが参加しています。吸血鬼の設定を刷新するにあたり一人一人のキャラクターのデザインにかなりの時間をかけてすり合わせながらデザインしました。人とは異なる種族である吸血鬼にはいくつかの特徴的なデザインを組み込んでいます。首や手足は長くかつ長身のキャラクターが多いです。物語の始まりで主人公に使命を与え導くそのキャラクターが特徴的なデザイン
A bunch of, like, she has like an Oni thing going on with little horns, which is kind of cool. So they've definitely branched out a bit from the very vampire toony aesthetic they had in the first game.
導く存在でもある吸血鬼ラビニアの身長はなんと3メートルを超えています。また吸血鬼たちは生まれる時にその力が大きければ大きいほど体の一部が欠けてしまいます。その欠けた部分を吸血鬼の力が大きければ大きいほど体の一部が欠けてしまいます。
Okay, so the boar parasite isn't present at all. Yeah, okay, so this is probably, I guess the easiest way to describe this is that this is probably more like Dark Souls to Demon Souls rather than Dark Souls 2 to Dark Souls 1.
その欠けた部分を吸血鬼の力が補うことで金継ぎされたような姿となります。ルーで言えば胸元や両足、ジョゼは左目や首元、バレンティンは左腕と失われた体と金継ぎのような衣装が見て取れるかと思います。バディとして共闘できるキャラクターの数は前作以上となっています。過去と現代で出会う様々な個性を
Hopefully more of them are useful than in the first game, because that's a real problem with it. There's like really only 2 characters that you bring with you.
アクションについては前作で好評だったケレン味のあるアクションをより充実させつつ、組み合わせやカスタマイズによって自分の戦術スタイルを構築できるようにしています。基本戦術は吸血攻撃を軸に設計されています。武器で攻撃をしながら隙を見て吸血を行うことでイコルというリソースを獲得できます。このイコルを消費することで術式と伝承術式という強力な行動を繰り出すことができます。術式は近接攻撃、遠距離攻撃、防御、回避手段など敵や状況に合わせた様々な選択肢があります。伝承術式は装備している武器とは別に遠距離からの攻撃を可能にする弓、隙がある反面当たれば大ダメージを与えられる巨大剣などを一時的に呼び出して戦うことができます。
Okay.
驚いてもらえるような派手なものもありますので本編でいろいろ付け替えながら遊んでみてほしいと思います。また吸血攻撃のバリエーションも前作以上にあり、ジェイルという装備を切り替えることで変更することができます。
Nice, because there were only like 4 in the first game, and I would argue that only 2 of them were really good.
プレイヤーアクションのみではなくバディシステムにも新要素を加えています。今作のバディシステムは主人公の背中のジェイルを介して戦闘に呼び出す召喚と主人公と一体となる憑依の2つのモードがあります。
Oh, cool.
召喚は前作同様バディが戦闘に参加し敵のターゲットを分散させ個別の判断で攻撃や術式でサポートをしてくれます。一方で憑依はバディがジェイルに格納され主人公と一体となることで強力なステータスアップを獲得します。戦闘の状況やプレイスタイルに合わせて召喚と憑依を切り替えて戦うことができます。様々な武器や術式、ブラッドコードを選んで自分好みの戦闘スタイルを見つけてバディと力を合わせて強敵に挑んでほしいと考えて。
So something that is worth bringing up is that God Eater kind of had 2 really big things over Monster Hunter. One was that it had a real plot. It's not a coincidence that Monster Hunter games started having a lot more story after God Eater came out, even though it didn't really sell well enough to challenge them. It did kind of scare the shit out of Capcom that they had a competitor that was being reasonably well received. The other thing is that the buddy characters in it are really, really competent, and they have like, individual behaviors that make them unique to play with and are really competent partners. So that was another thing that Code Vein then took on, where you could have a partner come with you all the time and they're like way smarter than a Dark Souls summon. So I'm pleased to see that they are doubling down on that.
過去を変えるかどうかの選択、そしてアクション面での選択の自由度というところは紹介しましたが、本作では攻略順もある程度選択できるようになっています。 ストーリーを進めていく中で倒せないボスが出てきた時など、攻略に行き詰まった際はフィールドを探索して
There's a lot more open space, which I actually think is a really good thing. One of the main complaints that I have about Code Vein is that even in large areas, it's mostly in fairly tight corridors. Kind of like how Dark Souls 1 is, where, you know, except for a couple of like big empty areas, like the Poison Swamp at the bottom of Blighttown, you spend most of the game in corridors, and like Demon's Souls has the same issue. And Code Vein has the same issue, so I'm glad to see that we're getting like way more open areas with more verticality. I think that's really good.
自分を強化したり、別のダンジョンやストーリーを進めてレベルを上げてから再挑戦するといったことが可能です。
It's also like entirely derivative of Elden Ring,
キャラ
but
クターカスタマイズは今作でももちろんありますので、自分の分子として主人公をデザインすることができます。カスタマイズの選択肢も前作でも充実しているので楽しんでいただけると思います。
それではキャラクターカスタマイズを見ていきましょう。今作ではですね、体型についても非常に細かなパラメータの設定が可能になっております。ベースの体型を選びつつ細かなですね、部位の調整等も可能になっております。次に髪型の設定です。基本的
so this is something that was really popular in Code Vein 1, and it actually goes back to God Eater. In God Eater, because armor doesn't matter, you don't have like armor that you forge. Your forges are entirely about weapons, but you can use like random pickups and stuff to craft new fashion gear to wear, because looking stylish is basically the only luxury that you really have. So you tend to spend a lot of time like tweaking your character's look. So like they refined that in Code Vein, and I'm pleased to see that they're going even further, although I'm a bit disappointed. This looks like the typical Unreal era. Like, you know, the hair pack that's in like every customizable character game. Like, you know, every EA UFC game has like the same hairstyles, and Tekken 8 uses a bunch of these verbatim. Like, it's in everything. It kind of sucks.
的な髪型を一覧から選んで、まずベースの髪型を決める形になります。今作では髪型の設定項目も非常に細かくなっており、
Oh, that's
気
cool.
に入った髪型を自分好みにカスタマイズすることができます。髪の色に関しても全体を調整するだけではなく、先端やベースの色、さらにですね、メッシュのような表現も可能になっております。
Nice.
髪の具合の調整も可能になっています。続いて顔の調整です。ベースとなる顔を選んだ後に各パーツの細かな調整ができます。
I'm aware that this isn't really gameplay related, but I'm glad that they saw that people really liked this in the first game, so they decided to double down on
ア
it.
ニメに登場するようなキャラクターを構築できる、そのコンセプトをもとに様々な設定項目があります。瞳についても非常に個性を発揮できる設定項目が揃っております。次にご紹介するのは今作の新たな調整項目です。今作では爪の色をですね、自由にカスタマイズしていただくことができます。小さなところですが、ご自身のキャラクターの個性の発揮に活用していただければと思います。今作の世界観の特徴の一つでもある金継ぎの調整も可能です。続いて衣装です。今作も様々な個性の発揮ができる衣装が揃っております。衣装のカラーリングに加えてそれぞれの部位のオンオフ、これによって同じ衣装でも自分の個性をですね、より詳細に発揮できるようになっています。
I imagine that you'll probably see more of this in Code Vein 2 because of the jail function. In Code Vein 1, you would wear like this outfit is like your your undergear, and then you would wear your blood veil over the top of it. But I think you'll probably spend a lot more time like looking at this in 2 because it looks like the jail doesn't take up nearly as much space since it's that like cage on your back and then stuff grows out of that. So
基本の衣装に加えてグローブ、そしてブーツのカスタマイズも可能です。組み合わせを変えることでキャラクターとしてのイメージを調整していただければと思います。衣装はカラーだけでなく、その質感や模様も含めてカスタマイズが可能です。シルエットアクセサリーという項目が追加されました。衣服の上に羽織ってキャラクター全体の印象を大きく変えることができるカスタマイズ項目になります。
So, yeah, they're taking advantage of the jail being smaller.
ご好評いただいたポイントを徹底的に分析して、より多くのバリエーションとより強い個性の発揮ができるようにパワーアップしております。 複雑なカスタマイズが苦手な方でも簡単に魅力的なキャラクターを作ることができますので、ぜひチャレンジしてみてください。
コードベイン2は2026年1月29日に PlayStation 5、Xbox シリーズ XS、Steam にて発売いたします。前作をプレイしていただいた皆様はもちろん、本作から新たにプレイしていただける方もお楽しみいただけるタイトルを目指してまいりますので、ぜひご期待ください。
Speaking of character customization, let me give you a little tip. When you do your character's eyes, I suggest you don't make them bright red, bright blue, or gold. Those were all plot important colors for eyes in Code Vein 1. Bright red more so because when you do a drain attack, like after a parry, your character's eyes will glow bright red, so if it's already bright red, then you kind of lose the effect. But bright blue and gold are like very plot relevant colors, so they probably will be again. So maybe stay away from those on the character customization. Alright, so let's have a look at the gameplay presentation.
Hello, and welcome to a gameplay presentation of Code Vein 2. I'm Dan Tack, a member of Bandai Namco Entertainment America, and today I'll be walking you through character creation, a taste of some of the characters you're going to meet along the way, exploration and the world, and an exciting look at the first
The fucking Kazuya Nikes are up there.
major boss you'll face in the game. Without further ado, let's get into the action. So before we take you into the action proper, we've got to create a character. And Code Vein 2 features an extremely robust character creator suite of options. Right now we're looking at some of the presets that you can pick from, but you can create your character down to the last detail. Eyes, hair, scars, all kinds of different things that you can tweak and design to your exact specifications. But if you feel like just picking one of the presets and getting right into the action, you can do that too. As you can see, we have all kinds of different hairstyles, all kinds of different options for you to pick from. And you can spend a lot of time in this character creator. I know I have. And you can get things just right. You can spend hours in here if you want. But you can also just take a preset. The presets are also awesome, and they come with some really cool outfits. But you can, again, it's not just setting your makeup. It's not just setting your eyes. You're going to be picking your outfit completely.
Yeah, like look at this this set of scars that they're looking at. These are all like from an asset pack that is used by like fucking and everything.
It's not just setting your eyes. You're going to be picking your outfit completely. Hats, accessories, masks, capes, whatever you want. You know, they're all here from the very serious to the very goofy options.
Oh, whoa, hang on, was that Alice's Barry?
You know, they're all here from the very...
No, okay, it's a generic one. I thought it was Alice's.
They're all available for you, depending on what you want to do. I mean, look at these hats. Look, I definitely want to go with... Look at those ears. I want some of those. I'm getting a pair of those. But you can create yours however you like. As you can see here, it extends to full outfits that you can have too. I'm thinking you might spend a lot of time in here if you're one of those players that likes to really customize your character. And if you don't, that's what the presets are for. Just grab and go.
I like how they've kept the gas masks as options, even though you probably shouldn't need them anymore.
Aspects of it too. Get the great screenshot, share it with your friends, and we're getting right into it.
Excellent. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance at last. All right then. I need you to wake up now. Ah, you've come too. As I feared, the memories may still take some time to return. Forgive me, I certainly didn't mean to startle you. My name is Lou Magmel. I am a revenant.
You sound really familiar.
Bear with me, for this may come as a shock. You have died once already. This is where I used a ritual to resurrect you. I gave half of my heart in order to restore yours. As a consequence, we now share the same heart, you and I. We are two lives intertwined as one.
The English voiceover for her hasn't been announced yet. It's apparently her Japanese voice actor is Iwami Manaka, which is interesting. Some other ones, you got Nakamura Yuichi, Sarashiro Miyuki. Yeah, they're getting some pretty big names brought in on this one.
Very much like for you to meet. I know it's all new, but it's okay. You can trust me.
I'm gonna replay the shit out of Code Vein after this.
And just like that, we are off to the races. This is Lou. Lou is the first character in the game we're going to meet, and a character that's one of our companions. You'll encounter many of these in the course of the game.
Slightly misaligned with the stairs.
Has a very, very special power in this game. In fact, the only revenant that can control time. So this will be very important as we move through the game, her special ability. And like all companions, Lou will also travel with you and fight with you. Each companion has special abilities that they bring to combat. And you can also assimilate your ally for some extra bonus powers, but we'll talk about that later. For now, we've just started the journey here in Magmel, and we're going to be heading out into the world.
I see they still haven't fixed this. So, watch Lou as the elevator starts moving.
Now, we've just started the journey here in Magmel.
Yeah, you see how she just did that little bop? That happens as you pass through the elevator load zone, and it kind of like resets the character's position slightly so that it's properly on the lift object. Code Vein 1 has the same problem.
And we're going to be heading out into the world. So this island of Magmel is sort of a tutorial area for the player to get used to things before heading out into the greater world. So we'll get a taste of the action here.
Is the tower on the hill.
You see we just picked up some flour there. You can find all kinds of useful consumables in the world that you can use to craft helpful tools and items. So obviously things like flour and other food items will help us make some tasty treats that might give us some bonuses, buffs, or healing.
Okay, well hopefully this is less shit than it is in Elden Ring, but so at the moment this is looking very derivative of Elden Ring, but the thing is, I don't necessarily consider that a bad thing because Code Vein 1 was extremely derivative of Dark Souls, but it also refined and fixed all of the problems that I have with Dark Souls. So I'm like not saying that this is derivative of Elden Ring as a bad thing, because I am hopeful that like with Code Vein 1, it will refine on the things that it is derived from.
Another world snuffed from existence.
So it looks like whatever...
Were all evacuated.
It looks like whatever this is, the various worlds that are around are like keeping it locked up, because she said that like the world disappeared and then this disappeared and the meteor looking thing reacted.
residents were all evacuated in time, thanks in no small part to your efforts. My name is Lavinia Rhoda. It is I who carries on the great Idris's mission and legacy.
Like Idris Elba?
It is you, though, who must save the world of man.
So these Lavinia and Lou are basically going to be your companions here at the beginning here to get you through this. The concept of we're going to travel to the past to save the present. Essentially, it's a Code Vein 2 hinges on time travel as a huge element of it. So basically, we're going to go to the past to save the future, more or less. So that's very important here in establishing the plot. We've now entered a ruins area, which is sort of an introductory dungeon area. And here you're getting a quick taste of the combat. We're getting some blocking, some rolling. You can see these little slashes accumulate on the enemies there. Those are bleeds, and we can capitalize on that by attacking with the jail item, which will give us Icon, which is the resource we're going to be using to facilitate our special attacks.
Okay, that makes sense. So in Code Vein 1, you would generate Ichord just by attacking enemies, the idea being that you're being spattered in their blood, but since your character isn't a Revenant, you need another way to do that, so that's really cool.
And the pace of combat to, put some slashes on the enemy and then essentially acquire...
Okay, yeah, look at this. We've got this stealth thing going on here that is also taken from Elden Ring.
Keep your pool of resources high. With this introductory sword, we've got this nice little... As you can see, sort of a dash lunge attack, which can help us close the distance down very quickly, get in and out of combat easily. It's a very useful introductory move that you'll have on your starting blade. As you can see, we're maneuvering around the enemy here, getting behind them, executing a nice little stagger and a crit attack.
Okay, backstab still works the same way.
Great way to take out opponents.
In Code Vein 1, backstab looping is very powerful on enemies that are vulnerable to it.
In the smaller dungeon, there's still plenty of little items to find, consumables, and more important items as well. We're swapping here to a different... More important.
Let me see that
items as
menu.
well.
Alright, so we've got these are new category. This and these are new categories of weapon. This big hammer one, I think, is actually just a boost hammer from God Eater, based on what we saw in the release date trailer. Otherwise, we've got... Okay, so, yeah, strength and dexterity are your physical offense stats. Mind and willpower in Code Vein 1 handled your gift damage, so mind is for light element gifts, and willpower is for dark element gifts. Vitality and fortitude are... Vitality is like... HP-ish, and then Fortitude is, I believe it's related to stamina, and it also has something to do with your flinch resistance. These will all change, so at the moment we're level 4. If we change blood code, then all of our stats will change to match the new blood code. You don't level up stats individually, so you can't level up the wrong thing and fuck up the character, which is really nice. Otherwise, okay, it looks like we've got 3 physical damage types now. It looks like we've gone to Slash, Crush, Pierce, and then I'm guessing this is blood, and then these are fire, ice, electric, like we'd expect. It's kind of hard to see on what these statuses are, but they don't look like any of the status icons from the first game. You can see down here that you've got this mobility thing. This is determined by the weight of the weapon that you are currently holding and how its weight compares to the... It's either the vitality or the fortitude of the blood codes. So, tank type blood codes, you can generally wield heavy weapons and only have like normal mobility instead of heavy mobility, but they often don't really have an option to let you get to fast, whereas very fast blood codes often have low fortitude, so you have to use light weapons, but they'll often be easy to reach high mobility with, which gives you a much better dodge. The way I would describe it is the heavy roll in Code Vein is like a mid-roll in Dark Souls, but the fast roll is like quickening in Bloodborne. It's really good if you're good at avoiding stuff. I also noticed that it looks like we have a shield, which is new. You just blocked with your weapon in the first game, which didn't work super well in most cases. There was one weapon where if you modified it, it would get 100% physical block, so you could use it, like switch to it, just use it as a shield. But I think that's going to work differently here. I'm also not sure what's going on with this and with the attribute burden. I don't know if this is saying like you need this much to pass, or if it's saying, you know, this is how much you're losing from your effective stats.
We're swapping here to a different weapon. So here we have the Statesman's Longbow. This is an awesome way to do damage at range and also fire at targets across that are too far for you to hit. This does consume the I-Core resource, so you'll have to be replenishing your supplies of that as you move through the game. This is actually in a side category of item called Bequeathed Forme, and there are different things that you can put in this slot other than the bow, but those are going to be kind of a surprise, so we're not going to tell you what the other ones are. But you'll see the bow used here. We can use it to take out this target at range, like so. And this is actually a very important map object that we've just destroyed, and it will unlock large chunks of the map for you to see in the overworld.
That's really good. You couldn't do that in the first game, as far as I know, so being able to shoot those from range is, one, they're going to be hidden much better, but two, it's like really nice to have that option now, because tracking to some of them was a huge pain in the ass.
And now we're going to skip ahead a little bit into the next section of the ruins. We're a bit deeper into this introductory dungeon down below.
Okay, well hopefully that dickhead on his motorbike didn't like come through super loud on the audio.
We have swapped weapons to the bayonet. This is an interesting weapon archetype in the game. You'll find different varieties of this. It does allow for both ranged and melee combat. So you'll need ammunition to do the ranged, but it's got quite an interesting moveset, as you can see, in melee range as well.
That was cool.
This is a really cool sort of versatile playstyle that you can employ. So this is a really cool sort of versatile playstyle.
What are you using as ammunition there?
As well. So this is a really cool sort of versatile playstyle that you can employ. So this is a really cool sort of versatile.
Oh, it's actually down here.
That you can employ. If you're
okay.
nuts.
So in Code Vein 1, these were just I-Core bullets, so firing them would cost an I-Core stock, but obviously that's not going to work here, so it's going to have to work differently. This might make bayonets a bit interesting, because in Code Vein 1 they had really bad drain stats. You had to pretty much run another weapon for the purpose of rebuilding I-Core stocks, and then you could like back out to use the bayonet, but it looks like you might be able to just use them straight up here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a switch weapons mechanic. Looks like we're using the Bequeathed Former to like give you offhand weapons instead. So that's going to be interesting.
It's pretty useful here in this area here as we're trying to navigate these narrow corridors and two ranged enemies that are shooting us from afar. So the bayonet will let us shoot back, as well as get in their face. So depending on how you like to play, the bayonet might be a great option. There's multiple options for you to check out as you go through the game, different archetypes. Of course, the bayonets, again, they do need ammunition, so we might have to reload here soon. As you can see there.
What was that reload animation, though?
As you
okay.
And as you can see, Noah, our companion Noah, is talking to us right now, but you don't see him on the screen. That's because he's currently assimilated. So in this game, you're going to have a partner or a companion, but you can choose whether that companion is active and out on the field, or you're basically assimilating them to tap into their powers. So we're getting some bonuses, as you can see reflected at the bottom of the screen, of being buffed by Noah.
Right, okay, that's probably what that shield was then.
So if you like to play solo, or if you like to play with a companion, you can fit the playstyle to that. And now we've moved a little further along in the ruins. We're using the
That's a really nice choice, because one thing that a lot of people were annoyed about with Code Vein 1 was that you had to play with a companion on your first playthrough at launch. So, like, having no companion was locked in the New Game Plus. They did fix that in a patch, but I like that they've kind of made it a core system now. You can either have a partner, or you can go it alone by assimilating them and get a bonus for it.
Blades, quite an unusual weapon, as you can see, sort of hovering behind us. It's a very unique playstyle and very different than a lot of the other melee weapons in the game. And as you can see, the bow can come in handy in combat as well with a quick flip.
Yeah, it's not as
And we're going in there.
damaging as, say, the javelin in Kazan is, which I probably would have liked to see.
And yeah, in these ruins again, lots of little things to pick up as you go through. So here we are. Now we're heading to the first major boss of the game. And as you can see, we've got our partner Noah with us to help on this fight. He'll be trying to take some of the boss's attention.
Yeah, did you see that? Check out the dodge animation he does here. This. So this is what a quick mobility dodge looks like. It's basically the quickening step from Bloodborne, and you have like mega iframes at the start of it.
He'll be trying to take some of the boss's attention.
It looks like they might have gotten rid of the focus mechanic from Code Vein 1, which I don't think is a bad thing, because it was kind of janky.
Damage. Every partner has their own special abilities and attacks that they bring to the table. So really handy to have during these big boss battles. But of course, you're still going to have to be doing quite a bit of dodging, blocking, getting in there, and learning the boss moveset as well. You can see we've accumulated quite a few bleeds on the dejected assailant here.
Okay, so it looks like this blue health is like a shield, kind of, and then this is your actual health, maybe?
So once you've got an enemy nice and bleeding like that, you know, you can capitalize on that with the jail item, which we haven't talked about a whole lot.
Yeah, you saw there that when the blue one got into the gold bar, there was like a break effect.
This is an auxiliary weapon type, and it comes in different forms. So you probably see one of them coming up here as we capitalize on what we've done to him.
Okay, and healing is obviously like a pill or something. In Code Vein 1, you like stimulate the ball parasite to make it regenerate.
Getting some heals in.
Okay, hitboxes look a lot better in this game.
High, so you can continue to use your special abilities and powers, which will make a big impact in fights like this. You can see we've got a stagger on there. Now we're going to execute an attack with our jail. It gives you an AoE attack, sort of a cone attack in front of you, and of course you'll crit with the jail as well anytime you've staggered an opponent. So here we're moving into phase 2.
Oh, it's a Dillahan.
Our boss has kind of lost his head. There was a cinematic here involved with the phase 2 transition, but we're keeping that out so we can keep it a surprise later. But with that, he's gained new abilities as he's now holding his head, and he has.
Did you just assimilate?
But we're keeping that out so we can keep it a surprise.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure if he called Noah back or if Noah like automatically assimilated to heal him.
Later. But with that, he's.
Noah may have actually died by spending all of his health to heal the player character. Because in Code Vein 1, you could heal your partner by giving up some of your own health, and that worked even if they were in their dying animation. So you could stay alive for a surprisingly long time.
He's now holding his head, and he has a whole new moveset due to that. And you'll see here we're getting in there with that slash. The starter sword only has one special attack, but it's still very useful. Here we're charging up our jail. Look at that. Getting in with the jail can attack by itself as well, so a nice little spinny scythe attack there with the Reaper jail.
Okay, that didn't bring the barrier all the way down though.
Flavors. So, depending on your playstyle, you'll pick one that fits the situation. Got the boss back in the corner here, doing some really great
So
damage.
I'm not sure what's going on with the like gold health and blue health bars. Unless there's like a half health mechanic, which I guess there could be.
With his head now on his arm, he's got all kinds of different attacks, including head lasers, which you never want to mess with.
I really like this idea of like putting stacks on the boss and then like
Very good.
detonating them to get your Ichor stock back up. I think that's really cool.
Oh,
That was gutsy.
really good attempt.
Yeah, that wasn't the point that I would have picked for that.
Taste of Code Vein 2's gameplay. Stay tuned for our social channels for exciting news and updates on the game. Code Vein 2 releases on January 30th, 2026, and is available for pre-order right now. Thanks for joining us today, everybody.
Okay, that looks really cool. I'm a little bit upset that it's not a sequel in like a narrative sense. since the game did end on a cliffhanger that had huge setting ramifications, so that's a bit disappointing, but they were talking multiple worlds, so like hopefully we'll get to see something as a form of closure. Alright, I'm gonna stop before I start rambling on about being disappointed. I will say one thing is that the gameplay trailer made combat look a lot meatier than it actually is, because the gameplay trailer had tons of hit stop, but this doesn't really. I'm also... Oh, wait, hang on.
Now on his arm, he's got all kinds of different attacks, including head lasers, which you never want to mess.
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with this. I thought that when he hit that special attack, it would have like detonated this flashing part of his health, but it doesn't seem like that's how it works. So there's a lot going on here that I'm not really sure how to think about, and there's really nothing I can make a call on the narrative side of things now that I have discovered that it is not a sequel. So I'm going to go away and edit this video, and I'm planning on streaming Super Robot Wars Y tonight because I'm ahead on my uni work. So university Master of Arts writing courses tend to be pretty backloaded with where all the work is. You did that, like, do most of the work in the last half of the unit when the major assessment is due, but I'm having to do a lot more upfront work than normal, which is why I've been kind of radio silent on streaming for the last little while, and I've just been streaming like Tekken on Discord instead. Speaking of which, part of my project for my university assessment is something Tekken related, so keep an eye out for that. I will make an announcement about it when it is done and after it has been marked, since I can't release it until then. But yeah, alright, I will see you guys later. Bye bye.